That's when I interact with them, because mine is to implement the resolutions of the assembly.
And from the look of things, the 3 months will end this week.
Yes. Yeah.
And if there's been no invitation to the executive, it means that there'll be no report of the county assembly. I think this message must go out to all county assemblies. I know last week members of county assembly were in Nairobi for the legislative summit. I hope that there were some conversations. I was meant to come there to talk about issues of accountability, but on the first day the members were quite wild, so they didn't allow people to speak. If the county assembly was to do what it's required to do, honorable members, if you look at the report of the Auditor General, there's paragraph 5.12, just to demonstrate 5.14, project implementation status, Department of Education. Now, the Auditor General has done a good job, and Auditor, this is a level of detail we need, because when you're this detailed, you are provided about 5 ECD classrooms that had problems. That's on page, if you look at the detailed report of the Auditor General, it's page 15.
Yes.
You got it. So there are about 5 projects there. Otendo Primary in Moticho Ward, ECD Pit Latrine in Bosansa Primary, ECD Classroom at Makorogoinwa Primary, ECD at Otamba and Masongo, ECD at Sengera and Bendera. How can the Senate review and resolve these matters sitting in Nairobi without being in Kisii? The institution that would add value to this conversation and this consideration is the county assembly, because all these projects are in your wards. And if the auditor has flagged issues of implementation, the member of county assembly is in a better position to take a view and agree or disagree with the report of the Auditor General. And so I think we also need to encourage the county assemblies to do what the Constitution requires them to do. Because leaving it to the Senate, then we'll be engaged in a very academic exercise. Even if the governor tells me that Sengera and Bendera primary schools in Magenche Ward, that the matter is completed now, and the auditor disagrees, I am inclined to take the position of the auditor. So one part of the recommendation, clerk, in our report to the House, I think we'll present the observation that there seems to be some ineffectiveness in the institutions. Governor, when do you intend to have the audit committee in place so that we can put that on record? Because we must make that recommendation, we must make that observation, that the reason why we have 68 issues is because the institutions have collapsed.
Looking at the advert, I think it's among the documents which is provided here, when it was out, when they're supposed to be giving it us. In Annex 40D, there is an advert there for therefore it's something which is ongoing, Chairman. And this one depends on my public service board to handle as fast as they can for me to have the committee. But as it was, as I just indicated earlier, Chairman, the Department of Audit, which is headed by the director, they are on doing this until we have this committee. Therefore, it's the only time we can say it's complete. I can only depend on the speed of these people they can be able to move, and I'll ask them to speed up to give me the committee on time.
That does not give me any comfort, Governor. You are the chief executive officer. You can't come to Nairobi and tell me that you cannot provide guidance to institutions within your county, because it then appears that you must first properly constitute the public service board for it to do the interviews.
No, not necessarily, Chair. Already they have a quorum.
Yeah,
they can have it.
So why can't they have 10 minutes?
Let me give the comfort of the committee that in another 21 days, for sure, I would be having the committee in place, because those are 3 weeks.
Sen.Kajwang?
That's okay. No, he has mentioned that because I was going to be reminding him. He has just told the committee that last week he received a briefing on the process. So after being briefed, then you must have formed an idea as to when this will be concluded. So he says in 21 days, and we can go with that.
Yeah, so since you've indicated 21 days, I think that will form part of our recommendations that will be taken to the House, but we must highlight that observation on failure of institutions. Members of County Assembly, please take the report back that the Senate believes that you have a very powerful role in oversight and ensuring governance in county governments, but we are concerned that you are not exercising the powers that you have. It is the members of county assemblies that have allowed Senate to carry on processes that ideally should be done at the county level. I would have been happy for Governor Simba Arati today for us to discuss perhaps the implication of the delayed passage of the additional allocations bill, because that is a current conversation. Money meant for FLOCA, money meant for KISIP, money meant for roads, money meant for community health practitioners is not reaching counties. That really ought to have been the conversation for us to discuss what impact that is having on the affairs of Kisii County. But now we have to look at ECD classrooms and pit latrines that are incomplete in some corner of Kisii that Wambua has not gone to. I know he's been to Kisii, but there are some corners he has not gone to. If you had an audit committee, these matters would have been filtered, and the Auditor General would have gotten responses. The Auditor General is not idle for him to populate 64 issues. He only does that